All right, everyone. Welcome to the 187 District Court. These are the rules of the court. You are in a courtroom. Happy Tuesday. Let's keep it a Tuesday. Let's not try to turn it in a Monday. Phyllis Bill, I took the booster shot. I experienced all of the side effects, but now I'm okay. But I had the chills. I had the fever. I thought I was going to have to call somebody, but
my second
fine now.
I never got sick after the booster. The booster was no problem.
Yes, I mean, the shot going in was fine. I was like, wow, this is better than the second one. But after that, not so much. But that happened last night, so I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go today. So everyone, these are the rules of the 187 District Court. If you're a defendant or accused, you cannot let your screen go dark. The only time your screen should go dark is if you are on your phone and you are signing paperwork. To all of the inmates at the jail, you're not allowed to use the chat box or use the internet. If you do, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. As you know, they're shorthanded, so we may see you in 30 to 60 or maybe even 90 days from now. To everyone who is at your home or at your job, you need to let your employer know that you need to take a break. You need to find a place that's quiet. And please do not move around a lot because that makes everybody dizzy. If you're at your home, there's to be no cooking of food, no changing of diapers, no playing with pets because you're in a courtroom. And if you don't abide by the rules of the 187 District Court, what's going to end up happening is your Tuesday is going to turn into a Monday. And your Zoom privileges are going to be revoked. You're going to be required to appear in person at the 187 District Court, which is located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. That means you're going to have to get an Uber or Lyft. If you take the Via bus, somebody just told me that they still don't provide you with change. So if you only have a $20 bill, that's going to be a $20 ride downtown on the Via. The other thing, if you're going to end up driving down here, what you're going to find is a lot of one-ways. You're going to find a lot of things shut down. And if you are able to find parking space, you're going to find that parking is very expensive. Mr. Joe Anthony Gomez, I mean, come on now. You got to follow directions. Would you be in court with a blanket? I think not. I think that would not be the case. So that's your final warning. Otherwise, it's going to become a Monday for you. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and invite you to the breakout room. I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless you're specifically called by name to go to a breakout room. To all the attorneys, if you have a plea bargaining agreement, no matter how small you think that agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box. The court coordinator, she'll be listed as Ferguson coordinator. Please do not chat her, email her, text her asking for a continuance. I'm the only person who can give that to you. To all the defendants and those who are accused, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you don't hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom, or either they had to appear in person in another courtroom, or they may be out of county. Just put some patience in your pocket. They will be here. To all the attorneys, when I assign you to a breakout room, think of those breakout rooms as going to a doctor's office. I know you, when you go see your doctor, you get excited because they're calling your name and you're like, wow, I got called mighty quick. They're just bringing you to one of those smaller rooms to sit in there to check your weight and your blood pressure. So everyone be patient today. And to all the defense attorneys, it would help me if you're able to add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. So Amir, if you could add CTD or FV to Robert Andrade's name. All right, this is the order in which attorneys will appear: Linda Corley, Will Brooks, Ignacio Beretta, Phyllis Beal, Anthony Rubago, Patrick Valentine, Bridget Garza, Amir Mamori, Matt Stohansky. Is there any defense attorney? Okay, Blake, Angela, and Froelich. All right. Linda Corley, thank you for changing your name. You're keeping it a Tuesday. I'm
working.
Thank you. I'm gonna send you to number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Will Brooks.
Morning, Judge. Thank you for scaring me. I got my booster scheduled tonight.
Oh, it's gonna be fine. But I will tell you this, wherever you go, guess what? They don't even give lollipops anymore.
HEB, I could buy one there, I guess.
Yeah, buy one before you go back there and say, I brought my own.
Thank you, Judge.
Here, I'm sending you number 4. Ignacio Beretta, thank you for changing your name. I'm sending you
You're
number
welcome.
5.
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Phyllis Beal. Phyllis, you disappoint me. You didn't change the name.
I'm still trying to figure it out, Judge. But I was going to tell you, is my client in the room? Because I have not been able to get a hold of her.
Okay, what is your client's name?
It is Laura Pantoja,
How do you spell the last name?
Pantoja.
P-A-N-O.
Pantoja.
Just one second. Somebody unmuted and they were not supposed to. I'm sorry. Just one last time for the last name.
Pantoja.
Okay, is it criminal trial division or family violence? I'm sorry, criminal trial or family violence?
Criminal trial.
All right. All right, what I'll do then, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6 and we'll see if your client shows up.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Anthony Robago.
Yes, Your Honor. I was
Yes,
working on a name change.
Well, here's the thing. If you'll go to participants and click on your name, if you're on your computer, and then there's a little arrow by your name, and then it'll say rename, and you just add your client's name.
So it's participants,
Yes,
and then you go to your name.
yes.
Oh, rename. I see that.
Okay. See, so next time you know. So what's your client's name?
His name is Todd Franklin,
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal Trial Division. It's his sentencing, and we were waiting on a mental health assessment so that you could make a decision on probation for him.
All right, just give me a moment. I will look into that. And he's actually in the courtroom. All right, Patrick Valentine, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 7.
Thank you, Judge.
Bridget Garza.
Hi, good morning, Judge. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for changing your name. You're keeping it a Tuesday.
Thank you.
I sent you to number 8.
Okay, thanks.
Amir, thank you for changing your name. I'm sending you to number 9.
Thank you, Judge.
Matt Stohansky, thank you for changing your name. I'm sending you to number 10.
Old dog, new trick, Judge.
All right. And just one moment before I get to Angela Blake and Andrew Froelich, just one second. So Todd Franklin.
Are you serious? I don't want you to.
Oh, we'll check it out.
All right, on Franklin, Mr. Robago. Anthony Robago.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so on Franklin, this was just waiting for a TAP evaluation. And you're saying there's some sort of mental evaluation?
Yeah, in our last setting, we I think you were in trial, and so the judge at that time noticed that there was a mental health assessment scheduled for November 24th, which was after the last setting, and so she thought it would be wise to reset the sentencing so that.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you to a breakout room
Excuse me,
Yes.
Judge, I just sent you the email with the DDRF attached with the PSI and tab.
Ah,
Uh,
thank you.
So if he could put his email in the chat, I could send it to him as well.
I'll do that right now.
Okay. And then what I'll do, Mr. Rabago, as soon as you're ready, I'll send your client to a breakout room, but your client is actually in the courtroom. So,
Okay.
Angela Blake, who do you have?
Morning, Judge. I got Julian Enriquez, and he's supposed to be here in person, but I don't see him.
All right, I'll give him till 10:30.
Okay, I'll check back. Thanks, Judge.
Thank you. Andrew Froelich,
Morning, Judge.
hi.
I have Margaret Garza de la Cruz. She was the recall from Friday.
Yes, and is she present?
She is on her way. I spoke with her this morning. I think she might leave her bathrobe at home this time, but she is
Okay,
she is on her way this morning. I did speak with her. We'll be ready as soon as she gets here.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll give her till 10:30.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Anton Hayek, I'm going to send you.
Present.
Hi, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11. You have Gomez, correct?
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. I didn't want to take any deals.
Okay, I'll send you to number 11. Bill Davidson, who do you have?
Your Honor, I have Montemayor Thomas. I believe that, well,
Is it criminal trial division or family
I'm
violence?
sorry, it's Juan Monterey. It's a sexual assault case.
And what's the defendant's name?
Juan Monterey.
Okay.
No, it's Montemayor. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble reading my own writing. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's Tuesday, so at least it's not Monday.
Yep.
Let me just look.
He said he was going to be there in person because he couldn't use the computer.
Okay. I'm going to send you to number 12.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other attorneys who have not been assigned?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I put down criminal trial division. That's an error. It's a family violence case, so I need to talk to family violence.
All right. If you go back to number 5, and actually a family violence prosecutor is in number 4, so they'll see you in number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Robert, I'm going to send you an email. If you could print that out for me, please.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Ricardo Briones.
I'm present, Your Honor. I have two people set today.
Okay, who do you have?
Mr. Jose Romo on an MTR and
Criminal
Mr.
trial division or family violence?
I believe it's criminal trial. I'm not sure.
All right, and who else do you have?
Marcus Marin, that would be family violence, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to Lucky Breakout Room number 13.
Thank you, Your Honor.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Judge, my client's in the courtroom this morning. He has
Yes.
trouble with Zoom, so he just came in person. And I have spoken with our ADA. They are not ready to make a plea offer yet. They need to speak with the passenger that was in the vehicle with him and look for some additional discovery that we're checking on.
Do they give you a time frame?
No, Your Honor. I was hoping we could just get a reset for next month.
All right, Norma, on Jose Martinez, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we'll come back on January 11th, 2022.
Actually, Judge, the 10th and 11th are really overbooked for me. Can we do the 12th even?
All right, let me just check with the coordinator.
Pull up my calendar.
Norma, is the 12th doable?
Give me 1 second, Judge.
Okay. All right, we'll come back on the 12th.
Okay, thank you, Judge. May my client and I be excused?
Mr. Martinez? Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to come back on January 12th. If you can't use Zoom, you'll have to appear in the courtroom, but do not leave until they give you a reset form, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're excused, Ms. Corley.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Martinez, someone will bring a paper for you to sign. Don't leave until then.
All right, Phyllis Bill.
Yes, Judge, we've conferred and there's an offer, even though I don't know if I haven't been able to get in touch with my client. The message that I left was not responded to.
I
So,
give everyone till 10:30. So if
Okay.
you want to zoom out and zoom back in at 10:30.
okay, I will do that. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, you're welcome. And maybe the bondsman can get in touch with them. We shall see.
It's not a PR bond, Judge.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Amir?
Yes, Judge. Judge, I've conferred with A.J. Wilkes, and Mr. Andrade has 2 cases that the state has not filed on. There are recent offense dates. They're about 2 weeks old. So we don't have any filings on that, Judge. So I'd ask to get a reset on this, Judge, until the state decides to file those or dismiss those new allegations.
And are those new cases, are those misdemeanors or felonies?
1 and 1, Your Honor.
One of each, Judge. We don't even have a file created on one of them. It's so new. So
Oh,
there's
what
not
is
really.
what's the new charge of that case?
So the newest one,
Yes, the
that's
felony.
The newest felony is going to be
Retaliation.
Yeah, retaliation. Sorry. So right now he has a harassment that's awaiting a filing with our office, a violation of protective order misdemeanor that's awaiting filing with our office, and retaliation that's awaiting indictment with our office.
Okay.
And then the rest that he has pending.
All right. Norma, can I have a 30-day reset for Mr. Robert Andrade, please?
Judge, also, is it possible that I can talk to you privately in the breakout room?
Sure. Just give me one moment.
Yes, Judge.
So we're going to recall this for January 11th. Do you need to speak with your client at all, Mr. Mamori?
Judge, I do, Judge, but I need to talk to you first before I do that.
Okay, let me send you to breakout room number 1. Just one moment. I'll send you to number 1 and I'll meet you in breakout room number 1. If everyone could give me a moment, please. All right, Patrick.
Yes, Judge, on Eric Flores, Brittany informs me that there are several at-large family violence cases pending. So there's not much I can do with this case until we figure out what the disposition of those cases are. So
All
perhaps.
right, just give me one moment because the court coordinator is in breakout room number 1, and I'll give you a reset for that. Mr. Mamori, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 so that you can meet with the attorney that's been appointed. So just give us 1 second, Mr. Valentine. Christine McDonald.
Good morning, Judge. I have Lorraine Rodriguez with criminal trial. And I can change my name. Sorry.
All right, thank you. I'll send you to number 14.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello. Okay. And Mr. Andrade, you're going to have a new attorney, and that new attorney is going to be Bill Davidson. So just give us a moment and you get a chance to meet him. All right, and Patrick Valentine on Eric Flores. What new cases does he have?
I'm told they're at-large family violence cases. I believe 3 of them. So we're waiting on indictments on those if they come.
Okay, so those are all felonies?
That I'm not sure about. Brittany would have to.
Brittany?
See them.
Yes, Judge, sorry, I was pulling it up. He has 1 pending felony awaiting indictment and 1 misdemeanor awaiting filing.
Okay, and the pending felony that's waiting indictment, what charge is that?
It is continuance violence against family.
Okay. All right, so what I'll do is I'll put you down for January 11th. And is your client on bond or in custody?
He's on bond, Your Honor.
All right, based upon those new charges, are there any additions to his bond? Any no contact orders?
Judge, does he currently have a no contact order with the victim? It's the same victim that we have in our case, so I'm not sure.
All right, Mr. Flores, do you have could you unmute yourself, please? Because it doesn't show on my docket because I only have the charge of the felon possession. Do you have a no contact order in place?
No, ma'am. But I don't have no contact with my son's mother.
Well,
but
let's
I don't have a contact order, Judge.
I understand, but this is what we're going to do. Mr. Valentine, I'm going to want, as a condition of his bond, that he's not to have contact with her.
I think that's reasonable, Your Honor. I would just note that they do share a child and do have to make a custody exchange now and then.
That's what grandmothers are for.
Okay, is that workable?
Are you able to do that, Mr. Flores?
Ma'am, it's my pleasure to stay away from her.
All right, and what is the complainant's name?
Your Honor, it is Beatrice Maribel Longoria.
All right, so Mr. Flores, you're not to have any contact with her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
To the clerks, could I have the B page on 2021 CR 7923? And Norma, on Eric Flores, I've reset that for January 11th. Is that an okay date?
Yes, ma'am. Can you give me the case number again, Judge?
That's 2021 CR 7923.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Flores, as a condition of your bond on this case, you're not to have any contact with Beatrice Longoria. So that means no contact with her, no going to her home or anything of that nature. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And no contact means no phone contact, no Facebook, no Instagram, whatever young people are doing.
Yes, ma'am. I guarantee you I would not reach out to her.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If there's nothing else, Mr. Valentine, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Can I bring one other matter to your attention that was set today? And
Yes, just give me one moment. All right, yes.
In the case of State versus Donald Dale, this is a case that pled out on November 19th. You may remember him as the gentleman who had a problem with his girlfriend having dated an African American in the past.
Oh, yes, I remember him.
So,
but he does have Black friends who texted him. That's how I remember him.
Some of his best friends. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, they seized a couple firearms from his home. Now he's not permitted to possess those firearms while he's on community supervision. And I've submitted a motion to authorize release of the firearms to our office, where we will keep them in our safe until such time as he is legally.
What is he? Let me ask you this. Yes. So what was he charged with?
Well, he ended up pleading to deadly conduct. It started as an ag assault.
Was it family violence or criminal trial?
Family violence.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to a breakout room with the state to see if they have any objections. And Mr. Flores, you're excused.
Judge, I'm sure you remember this guy from a couple weeks ago.
Yes, he has a Black friend.
Yes.
Who texted him and wished him luck on his sentencing.
That's right.
Yeah, so Mr. Valentine wants to know if he can keep the weapons. It's Tuesday, everyone, but it's a happy Tuesday. Put a smile on. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to send Patrick Valentine to number 6 on Donald Dale. And Mr. Flores, you're excused unless your attorney needs to speak to you again.
Eric,
All right, Judge.
All right, thank you.
You have a good day. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, Amir.
Judge, I've conferred with my client and also with Mr. Davidson. And Norma, may I be excused, Judge?
Yes, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Will Brooks.
Judge, I'm back from conferring with Michelle. I sent over some items for their consideration, Judge, and I'd be asking for just a regular reset at this point.
Okay. Norma, can I have a regular reset on Matthew Luna?
And Judge, I anticipate an agreed motion to modify some GPS conditions, and I didn't know if you wanted to schedule a hearing on that or what your...
Well, if you and the state are in agreement with it, send me the agreed order in an email. I'll print it out and I'll sign it.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, we're coming back on January 13th.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, you may be excused, and I'm gonna ask you who your friends are in text messages.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
All right.
Sometimes Norma, but
okay, have a good one.
thank y'all.
You're welcome. Matthew Luna, you're excused.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Meredith, will you go back into a breakout with me?
Anthony Rabago,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you need to speak with your client?
Your Honor, I think that the recommendation for the sentencing is to put him on the MIC caseload.
No, according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is opposed to his applications.
Right, and so we were asking the court to still consider putting him on probation.
No, I mean, I'm going to consider everything, but I'm wondering if you all are ready to proceed.
I mean, I talked to him last night about it. I mean, it's his preference to be put on probation and need treatment.
Just are you guys ready to proceed with sentencing?
Well, I'll make sure he's ready if you want for me to talk to him in a breakout room.
Judge, I need the report. I emailed Rebecca, the DDRF report.
Oh, sorry, I sent it to Tom and Marcus.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, I'll send you to number 1 into the courtroom. If you could go to number 1, please. And Libby Wiederman, who do you have?
I have Jennifer Portillo. She is in custody, and there are 2 cases. One of them, she is represented by Al Acevedo Jr.
Okay. And which is the one that is the higher level felony?
They're actually the same.
Okay. And is it family violence or criminal trial division?
A criminal trial.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you see if you can get Mr. Acevedo in here? And Ms. Wiederman, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 15. A prosecutor will be there shortly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Patrick Valentine on Donald Dale.
Yes, ma'am. Michelle reports that she has no objection to your granting the motion.
Yeah, Judge, I don't have a problem with defense counsel having it. I obviously have a problem with Donald Dale having it right now, but I'm fine with Patrick having it.
Okay. All right, then I will sign it and you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
And Patrick, can I talk to you in a breakout room real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, thank you. I'll put you in 2, Patrick.
Yes, Matt.
Yes, ma'am. I need to talk to Meredith for just a second when she gets a chance.
Okay, she'll send you to a specific breakout room and meet you there. Oh, you can take these. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, why don't you put on set? Here, I got it. I'll bring it back.
Okay, there you go. Those are nice. All right, Anton.
I've talked to my client. He tells me there were photos taken. I see in the report there's digital media available, and that hasn't been, we haven't received discovery for whatever reason. I never know anymore.
Okay.
Well,
Who is the family violence prosecutor you were speaking
it
with?
was Caitlin Wilkie.
All right, and is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond.
And where is he?
He's here. He's in breakout room 11.
Okay.
Remember, he showed up a little late yesterday, and you're kind enough to let him stay on bond and go by Zoom.
Yes.
Getting soft.
All right, have they given you an idea of when they'll have this information?
Oh, I just found out that about it. He told me, because I listened to it was the first time we've had a good conversation.
Okay.
And so I don't know how to find Caitlin on my own, so.
Oh, she's in a breakout room. She'll be back shortly.
Okay.
Your Honor, we're ready on Mr. Franklin's case when you are.
Okay.
He stepped out to the restroom.
All right, just give us a moment.
Judge, can I?
Mr. Otts, yes.
On Jennifer and Portillo, she's on the docket. There's another attorney on it, Libby Wiederman.
Yes, she's in number 4.
Okay.
To the courtroom, could you go to breakout room number 4?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and is there anyone available from Criminal Trial Division to go to number 4, please? And it's on Jennifer Portillo.
Is my video working? Yeah. Judge Tom, back from
Yes.
breakout room 8. Can we
Yes.
move Joshua Cuellar into number 8 with his attorney who's already in there, please?
All right, Mr. Cuellar, please go to breakout room number 8. Tom, there's a different scenery.
Yeah, I'm at home. I'm having some electrical work done here, and my work computer apparently doesn't like the Wi-Fi or the hotspot at home. So I got a whole like multi-phone personal computer thing going on here.
And Judge Hayek, as soon as Ms. Wilkes comes out, I'll ask her when she anticipates on having that information for you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And then on CTD, there is a Ricardo Briones is in number 9. He has Jose Romo and Marin, and they're both criminal trial division. Yes, Mr. Joe Gomez. You need to unmute.
I need to use the restroom. I have a bladder problem.
Go ahead. Yes, Mr. Acevedo. Yeah, that's not the one you touch.
Sorry,
Yes.
Judge.
No problem.
On Jennifer Portillo, I filed a motion to withdraw back in September. I don't know, I think at that time she may have missed court or had just got arrested, so we didn't, you didn't want to sign it at the time. So if I can just approach you on that.
All right, well, we still can't have that hearing until she's on the Zoom.
Is she, oh, okay,
Because she's in custody now, correct?
correct, Your Honor, she's in custody.
All right, so as soon as she's brought over, then I'll hear your motion.
Okay, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Norma, can you let me know what the ETA is for Jennifer Portillo? And I think she's calling right now. And then Anthony Robago, Mr. Franklin, are you ready?
Is Mr. Franklin back in the courtroom?
Yes, he is.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Right at the arrow, sir.
And who's the prosecutor?
Judge, I'll be handling that today.
Okay. What does his T-shirt say?
Read it earlier. I think it says worthy of respect.
Oh, okay. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 7280, State of Texas versus Todd Franklin. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
for the defense?
Anthony Ravago for Mr. Franklin.
And are you Mr. Franklin?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant entered a plea of no contest on September 21st, 2021, and that was done by video. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state waived the habitual enhancement allegations without objection. The defendant entered a plea of no contest, applied for community supervision. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. The state opposes the application for community supervision. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, you are opposed to the defendant's application. You may proceed.
Your Honor, I'll be reserving my argument for rebuttal.
All right. Defense?
Your Honor, Mr. Franklin, as you know, has had a troubled and traumatic past, as explained in the pre-sentencing investigation. It looked to me like the recommendation was that he be considered for the mentally impaired caseload. Mr. Franklin, while he's had a troubled past, has never been on probation. I don't believe he's been offered probation previously, certainly not for a felony case. And he believes, and we've discussed this, that that perhaps the services available through probation would be helpful in helping him, maintain a stable lifestyle so that he can be responsible.
Mr. Ravago, I'm sorry to
Yes, ma'am.
interrupt, Mr. Ravago, unless I'm missing it, in the PSI report, it shows that he was given probation before.
When I talked with him, he said that he had not been given probation before.
Now, unless this is incorrect, it shows, let me share screen for you. Unless this is someone else, it shows that he was placed on deferred adjudication in 2005 for burglary of a habitation force.
Let's take a look at that. 2005 burglary of a habitation at 226 applied.
And so he was denied deferred adjudication, but probation was granted.
It sounds like that was, it was over 10 years ago, Your Honor, and so maybe it slipped his mind, or it just wasn't memorable for him. He is my experience with him during the time I've had a chance to represent him over the past several months is that he's extremely even-keeled, mature, with wanting an opportunity to be treated differently than his record may reflect. As you know, persons who might have trouble past when they're younger and change their ways. He's a responsible uncle to his nieces and nephews, and would like to just a chance to show the court, and especially with this particular recommendation for the mentally impaired caseload, that may not have been an option previously available, and it may fit his circumstances better, and allow him a better chance for success. I think that's all, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, here's my thing that I want addressed, and I want to address with him. Because Mr. Franklin, your criminal history is like a credit report, but it's a credit report as it relates to your criminal history instead of your finances. And so I'm trying to figure out, have you learned anything? Because I don't understand. With your juvenile record, you had the attempted burglary of a habitation with the intent to commit theft, and you were placed on probation for that. Then as an adult, you have thefts. You did time for that. You have possession of marijuana, which I know people don't think is a big deal now. You had another theft and you did time for that. Then you have a burglary habitation force. You were placed on probation for that. And you were sentenced to 3 years in prison. And then you had possession of a controlled substance. And you were sentenced for that. And that was from the 437. And that's from 2011. So you go from 2005 to getting probation. And you go to prison for that because you don't complete it. And then you're placed, then you pick up this new case and you're given 3 years prison. Evading arrest is dismissed. And then you have a felon in possession of a firearm in February. So that tells me that you know you're a felon and you shouldn't be in possession of a firearm, because let's say you were not put on notice in 2017. Definitely after 2017, you know you're a felon and you can't possess weapons. So I'm trying to figure out, what have you learned? Because it appears that you're not learning anything. And I've read his mental health, the DDRF, I've read that. But it appears your client hasn't learned anything.
If I may just add one point that I think is true for him. I think his awareness of how easy it is for him to get in trouble is becoming clearer and clearer. Like he can't be around guns. He can't even be close to a gun, whether it's his or not his. He can't be around drugs, can't be around any bad situations. And I think it's hard sometimes for people to understand, like, the level that they need to operate is even higher than a normal person would
But
be.
isn't this just a situation where he's a felon and he can't possess weapons and he possessed a weapon? I don't understand what it means that he realizes that he can't be around weapons. I mean, he's a felon. He can't possess weapons or ammunition.
Right. And I think
would have known that in
yeah.
2017. So I'm trying to figure, Mr. Ravago, I'm just trying to figure out whether or not he would be a good candidate for probation or not. And it seems that he's not.
Judge, that's the state's argument. I'll keep it real brief. We are just asking you deny their application. I think the history that you just showed proves it. In fact, history for this exact offense, where he was just released not even a year before picking up the same offense again. He has the exact same offense from another county in Texas as well. He's a documented gang member. I don't believe probation is appropriate for him. If Your Honor does choose to grant the application, at a bare minimum, some sort of inpatient treatment, but the state would be asking that you give him the sentence and deny his application.
All right, Mr. Ravago.
Did you want to hear from Mr. Franklin at all, Your Honor?
I mean, if you want to call him as a witness, you can.
I think it would be helpful. This is a huge deal for him and his life, and for you
All
to be
right.
able to hear him would be helpful.
Mr. Ravago, I'm sorry. Mr. Franklin, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Todd Franklin.
I'm going to need you to speak up. What's your
Yes.
name, please?
Todd Franklin.
All right, defense.
Mr. Franklin, thank you for being patient with the process. I know you've gone to several evaluations, and all that information is important to give the court more information about you. And we discussed before this hearing the reasons why you believe that you should be granted probation. Would you please discuss those with the court or explain that to the court?
Well, I feel like that I'll be a good candidate. I've completed all my paroles that I've been on, my parole supervision, and I feel like this will help me with my mental health. Just getting the access to that treatment, the outpatient treatment with the the Center for Healthcare Services. And I've been going through with everything I need to get my mental health together. And I just need a chance to show you different.
What have you learned through your interactions with the people that you've talked with at the mental health, through mental health services?
That my mental health is important and I shouldn't neglect it, because I have neglected it in my past. And I'm more serious about getting help.
And how would you change your behavior in the future to help preserve your mental health?
Just stay on track, stay keeping up with my appointments, and just keep asking for help, keep going, and you know what I mean, and just keep just being open to it.
Are there people in your life right now that can help you with that and that are helping you with that?
Yes, sir.
And who are they?
My mother, my sister, and my niece and nephews, and my grandmother.
And do you all live together?
Yes.
And you lived in that house for your whole life?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's all, Your Honor.
Okay.
2 questions.
Yes.
Sir, weren't you just released for this exact offense from TDC in 2019?
Yes, I was.
And is it still your testimony to this court that you've never had felony probation before?
Yeah, I really was saying. Oh,
that's not true, correct? You have had it before.
Yes, when I was younger.
And you did not successfully complete it, correct?
No, I didn't.
Questions, Judge?
Okay. So I see there's drug issues. I see there's mental health issues. But your history is horrible. And I can send you to prison. You're going to get out, and who knows what will happen. So here's the thing. The state is asking for 5 years prison. I will send you to prison for 4 years, or either I send you to safe peace special needs. Either way, you're not walking out of this courtroom today. What do you want to do?
I can do safe peace.
All right, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I'm going to sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. $1,000 fine, probated. Safe peace special needs. Will they accept him, Rebecca?
I'm not sure if he's a documented gang, I'm not sure if they'll accept him.
All right, so this is what we're going to do before I even do this. Rebecca, find out if they'll accept him because he's a gang member.
Can I mention that I'm not a gang member?
You're documented as a gang member. Have you ever been a gang member? That's either yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't think the same way you were initiated into the gang, I don't believe they accept a piece of paper where you're saying I'm resigning membership or I'm not paying my dues.
I mean,
so you would know if you've left or not officially.
I mean, I don't hang with nobody, so.
Nope, that's not my question or my statement to you. You will know whether or not you have left officially. I have organizations I belong to. If I'm still paying dues, whether I show up for meetings or not, I'm officially still a member of that organization. So you know whether or not you're officially a member or not. And my understanding from my research, it's not you not paying your dues anymore. So you know whether or not you did what you needed to do to officially not be a member anymore.
Judge, it looks like they would accept him. It's
Okay.
SADF that does the no gangs.
All right. So 5 years suspended and probated for 5 years, $1,000 fine. Safety special needs. And you're to remain in custody until accepted. Mixed supervision upon release. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Weekly Zoom reporting upon release. Field visits 3 times per month, random. UA hotline. I don't know if you can do gang supervision and mixed supervision, Rebecca.
I can make a note and see if what they do.
Okay, so gang supervision. $200 of community service restitution, 40 hours will be waived if you obtain the COVID vaccination. Court's not forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you obtain it, then 40 hours will be deducted. And you to follow all recommendations from the Center for Healthcare Services. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Franklin, is there anything else you need from this court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am. And what is the what's going on is safe, as you said, safety, and what else?
Yes, safety is 9 months.
And then probation?
Yes.
Okay.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because it's a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, y'all.
All right, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room for probation to go over conditions with you, and then you'll be taken into custody. A courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please.
Judge, I'm in the court today. So you just put them aside and I'll call them when I'm done typing up everything.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Bridget Garza.
Yes, Judge, we have an agreement. We're waiting for the paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Christine McDonald.
Same announcement, Judge.
Thank you. Anton Hayek.
Here, Judge, waiting.
Okay, let me find Miss Wilkes. Just 1 second. Let me go ask her. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hayek, just give me 1 moment. Matt Sohansky.
Yes, Your Honor. Meredith and I need a minute of your time.
Yes. Do you need to see me in a breakout room?
I think we need to do it on but
Okay.
however she wants to do it. Meredith?
Let me see. She may be in another breakout room.
That's fine. My client has a violation report. He's
Sorry.
removed his monitor. There you go.
Hi.
Judge, we conferred and I got a copy of the violation report from the clerks, and it appears he tampered with his device. And I looked at the history, and even though it says first violation report, this case used to be assigned to the 227th. The exact same thing happened there, and his bond was raised before it was transferred here. So at the end of the day, like, we're going to be asking for remand without bond. I don't know that Matt is going to necessarily need a hearing for that, if Your Honor.
Where is Mr. Alvarado?
He's in the wind, I believe.
He's in the wind, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's 10:16 a.m. I'm going to issue a judge's warrant.
Okay.
And if you want to have it set for a hearing, just let us know. And I'll remand him without bond.
Okay, we got to pick him up before I can get a hearing, so.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Anything else?
No, I think that's all. Have a great rest of your day. It's Tuesday.
You have a lovely day too.
Thank you.
Take care, bye.
Bye-bye. Alfonso Cabanas.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
I have Mr. Adrian Garcia, Your Honor. He should be present on Zoom, and we're just needing a trial date.
All right, just give me a moment then. Anton Hayek on Mr. Gomez.
Here, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Wilkes is here and now from the breakout room. You said that there's discovery.
He says photographs were taken of himself and his injury. And I noticed on the police report it says digital media evidence available. Whatever that
Okay,
means.
have you seen that or no?
No,
Okay,
no, I have not seen it.
let me make sure that it's not uploaded already. Because usually, yeah, they'll be. Mhm.
We'll be glad to run our request again. This happens all the time.
There's 71 license in your apartment. So that means I'm busted out there.
All
If
right,
any
just give me a moment.
prosecutors are on, I was gonna say.
All right, no. All right, Mr. Hayek, we're going to come back on your case on either January 11th or January 13th.
Oh, let me look real quick.
And Judge, I'm actively trying to see if there's any outstanding discovery. And if there is, of course, I'll get it to the defense promptly.
Okay.
How about the 13th, Judge?
All right, why is your client bouncing on the bed? I don't
Talking to me?
understand. Is there something wrong with your client?
Yes.
What is wrong with him?
He had a very bad fall from 10 feet, injured his brain. He's got 2 vertebrae that are shot. He's just nervous as hell. Doesn't understand things very well anymore.
So is he going to be evaluated?
As for being competent,
Well, I mean, any type of evaluation.
well, what sort of evaluation can be given to him?
I mean, what do you, I mean, what do you want?
Oh, well, he didn't want to accept the deal, and I could probably get
Well,
some
no, I
medical-
mean, is he competent? I mean, you're saying that he had a brain injury.
Well, he can answer questions. He understands. He's, how can I phrase this properly? Anxious. He's anxious, at least. I'd be
Well,
just
I'm-
as happy to have him tell a story.
Well,
I think
he had
he's
better
competent.
stop jumping up and down on the bed. I don't know how jumping up and down on the bed like a 3-year-old helps him with his physical condition. I would think if somebody had a bad back, I don't know if a trampoline or anything would be best for them. I could be wrong. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't play one on TV, but I don't know how that would help him. So,
Okay.
Mr. Gomez, unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what are your issues?
It was as far as my body. I heard you say about me. So my back, I have back injuries, head injuries. I'm really kind of like confused and having to do with, being in court or however everything. I kind of I get it.
I don't know who's in the room with you, but let me explain
It's my
something to you.
wife.
All right, well, she needs to get out of that room because I'm speaking with you. So there's not to be any help from your wife. And if you're in the courtroom, your wife would not be allowed to help you. You understand?
Okay.
So at some point, you're going to have to appear inside a courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are your medical issues?
I think I have a 60% this I forget what they call it, but I'm not able to function or the same as I used to be. I'm sitting on this bed here in the room so I can be listening into to the court, whatever I'm doing, and it's just really bothering my back. My back really hurts all the time.
All right, your attorney is saying that there's some kind of brain issue. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am. My wife has to help me with everything, and I can't be.
Now, what brain injury did you have?
Well, I fell 10 feet and my head, I had brain hemorrhaging inside my brain, my blood, and my memory's pretty much not, I can't function, suppose the same. I don't have recall. It's pretty hard to.
So the wife who's with you, is that the same person who's listed as a complainant in this case?
No, ma'am. That person was somebody who just manipulated me, took advantage of me.
No. I'm just asking you if that's the same person. What's your wife's name?
Olivia Contreras.
All right, Mr. Hayek, does your client need any type of evaluation?
I think I'll have him evaluate, Judge. I'll file a motion for competency.
And as far as the photographs go, Anton, I'm seeing that there are photographs of him uploaded along with the complainant in this case. But is there something in specifically that you are addressing photographs like it was like assaulted or something?
He said he was injured. He said he had a bad shoulder and they handcuffed him and he was bleeding in front of his head and back of his head. So I need to see that. I'm not really sure why he was arrested, but.
Okay, well, we're not going to discuss the facts, but I will say there are photographs of both people at the scene. So
That'd be good.
And
I just, when we ordered them, it didn't come through then. That's not unusual.
Okay, well, let me know if there's something else in particular you'd like to see, like a post arrest, like magistrate photographs that may have been taken, but I don't see anything to indicate that. So let me know if there's anything.
Okay.
But the photos are there. All right.
All right, January 13th then. Maybe excuse, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, you can leave, Joe.
Okay, Mr. Hyde, I'll wait to hear from you, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, Alfonso Cabanas.
Yes, Your Honor.
On Adrian Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor, he should be present.
All right, Adrian Garcia, where are you?
Right here, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Garcia, you're requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you received an offer, Mr. Cabanas?
Yes, Your Honor, I do have a plea offer.
All right, and Mr. Garcia, you're rejecting that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
You're requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Norman, can you put his jury trial date in January, and this will be his jury trial date?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second.
All right, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your jury trial date is going to be January 11th. You need to come to the 187 District Court on that day, and you need to be here at 9 a.m. and you need to be dressed for trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
187 District Court is located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Cabanos, that is his jury trial date.
Your Honor, on the January 11th date, I will be in Del Rio Federal Court. Is it possible to have it a week after that, January 11th date?
Ms. Ferguson?
Judge, give me just a second, okay? Give me one
Okay,
moment.
sure. All right, we're going to come back on January 18th. Mr. Garcia, you need to be in court on January 18th at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused, and the court will not accept any plea bargaining agreements after today.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Bridget Garza.
Yes, Judge, you recall, we have an agreement. I'm waiting for paperwork.
Yes, I was just getting an update on whether or not you received the paperwork.
No, not yet, Judge.
Okay,
They're working on it. Meredith
All
is
right.
working on it. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Your Honor, do we have the Jennifer Portillo on Zoom?
Yes, she should be here. Let me see. Yes, she's in breakout room number 4 courtroom. Could you go to breakout room number 4, please?
Yes, Judge.
And Phyllis, Bill, you're back on Pantoja or Pantoa. Phyllis, Bill. All right. As soon as she's ready, we'll take that up. Everyone, just give me 5 minutes, please. Phyllis Bill.
Yes, Judge, did my client show up?
To the courtroom, is there a Laura Pantoja in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, she is not.
All right. Is there a prosecutor available?
I can be.
All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 3747, State of Texas versus Laura Pantoja. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Caitlin Wilkes for the state.
For the defense?
Phyllis Beal.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It's now 10:37 a.m. The defendant has not appeared on the Zoom screen. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, has the defendant appeared in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, she has not.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I left her a message on the phone number that I had, and I have not heard back from her.
State?
State moves to bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
That will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If for any reason you're able to get in touch with your client and your client makes an appearance by Zoom or in person, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Libby Wiedemann?
Yes, Judge, I was just about to send a chat message to Britney Sparks. My client wants to take the offer.
Okay, all right, thank you. And are you going to be representing her on all the cases? What is happening with your case, Mr. Acevedo?
Judge, that was the one I had filed a motion to withdraw back in September of 2020. So if we need to take up that, we can.
Well, which case is she entering a plea to?
So what I was going to tell you also, Judge, was the case that Mr. Acevedo is on is going to be TIC'd.
Okay, all right then, Mr. Acevedo, your motion will end up being mute because they're going to take it in consideration.
Okay, Judge, do you need me to stay?
Yes, just until the plea is completed.
Do you mind if I run to county court number 11?
No.
I'm on the trial docket.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Sure. Ignacio Beretta?
Yes, Your Honor, I need to speak to Caitlin Wilkes again, please.
All right, Ms. Wilkes, if you could send Mr. Ignacio Beretta to whatever breakout room you want to confer with him.
I will, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ricardo Briones?
Hello, Your Honor. I'm approaching on Jose Romo. Michelle Hayden was the prosecutor I was talking to. I think we have an agreement.
Okay.
My client currently has a ankle monitor. I think he's on full house arrest, and we're asking if he can be removed from that. I think.
All right. When you say an agreement, do you mean agreement as to the disposition of your case, or you're talking about an agreement on a monitor?
I apologize. Agreement as to the disposition of the case, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll take up the monitor after the case is disposed of.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I also have Marcus Marin set today. I would like to talk to a prosecutor about his cases.
Okay. I'll send you to breakout room. Let me see where you were. All right, is there a prosecutor available to speak on Marin with Ricardo Briones? It's Criminal Trial Division. We'll see who's available.
I can put him in a breakout room, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Beretta.
Yes, Your Honor. It appears that we cannot reach an agreement.
Okay. And is your client in custody or on bond?
Custody.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. If you could go to number 5 and have your client come to the main room, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, I think they're conferring a little bit more, Mr. Guerra and Mr. Barreto, just FYI.
All right, thank you. My printer has died, and it's a brand new printer. All right, Mr. Briones.
I'm on mute. I apologize, Your Honor. We conferred with the state of Marin. I think we need a little bit more time and they need some time on it. So we're requesting a reset on that.
Okay. All right, Norma, on Marcus Marine, could I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we'll come back on January 13th.
Okay. And then I also have Mr. Josero almost set today as well, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Marine, do you need to speak with him anymore? Do you need to speak with Mr. Marine anymore?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can you let them know Mr. Marine can go back? Mr. Marine, have a great rest of your day. And he is 14M.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the last person you have is Roma.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anyone else ready? All right, yes, Mr. Froelich.
Judge, as long as Lupe has the discovery acknowledgement, I think we're ready for the plea on Margaret Garza de la Cruz.
Okay, as soon as I receive the documents, we'll proceed.
Can she stand up?
Okay. All right, thank you. You can take those back. Mhm. All right, if I could have Margaret Garza, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Who are the parties?
It's Meredith. Yeah, and Andrew Frelick for the defense.
Court is calling 2021 CR 7769, State of Texas versus Margaret Thelma Garza. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
for the defense?
Andrew Frederick for the defense.
And are you Margaret Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Court will note for the record that the defendant is present in the courtroom. I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review this with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Next, Ms. Garza, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garza, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Did you understand what you're charged with? Possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did understand.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, I do understand.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
I understand.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, they haven't.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, they haven't.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court would find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution of $57 to the Bexar County Laboratory for testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did understand.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, outpatient treatment with regular UAs. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, I do understand.
And to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any
Objection.
objection? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we have PSI.
Anything else, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, briefly, Judge, we'd ask that she be required to get a driver's license as well. At this time, she is facing an MTR in County Court 6, but that was a requirement for DWLI. So we'd ask that we include that as a condition of this so we can go to Judge Christian and ask him to understand that's been taken care of, if that makes any sense.
Yes. All right, Ms. Garza, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
What do you do?
I just inherited my uncle's company. He passed away, so it's Libra Services. He's leaving the company to me, so, and inherited the home, so.
So what do you do?
I run the company. I own it.
But I mean, what is the company?
Oh, it's a cleaning service.
Okay.
It goes and it cleans toilet paper in the bathrooms, like for churches and, you know, Wendy's, things like, places like that.
Okay. When you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Clean.
When's the last time you used?
It's been a while.
What does that mean?
Probably, it's been a while since, I guess, since y'all, when I got pulled over. Since I've been arrested, yeah.
Right. So, Mr. Froelich, I know you've spoken to your client about my rules. So did you inform her about the fact that she's going to be drug tested today?
I did, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. How far did you go in school, Ms. Garza?
I finished school.
All right. So what are your?
Hardendale.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
Hardendale High School.
What high school?
Hardendale on Gerald.
Harlingdale. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. I have 3.
What are their ages?
Their ages are 38, 37, and 25.
Okay. I thought you were going to say those ages and then say 4 years old or something.
No, ma'am. I cannot have children no more.
All right.
All I do is take care of my mother now.
Are you paid to do that?
No, she had a heart. I don't get paid. I take care of her on my own. I'm the only kid, the daughter anyway, me and my brother, but I'm the only one who takes care of her.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. $1,000 fine probated, 5 years deferred adjudication, $57 restitution for drug testing. Defendant is to obtain a driver's license, a valid driver's license.
Yes.
Proof of employment within 30 days.
Okay.
There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. 120 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof that you've obtained the COVID vaccination. And for the court, that means the entire protocol. So that would mean the booster. I'm not requiring or forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you're doing, you turn that in, 40 hours will be deducted of your community service restitution. There's going to be a UA today
Okay.
by 2 p.m.
Okay.
If positive, then there'll be outpatient treatment with probation.
Okay.
If negative, then random UAs.
Understood.
And if she doesn't go to be drug tested, then I'm going to want a motion to revoke file. You're raising your hand, Mr.
Judge,
Crowley?
she has a warrant.
She has what?
She has a warrant out of County Court 6, motion to revoke. So she's not going anywhere today. The best I can do is get her a hearing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. For an MTR in front of Judge Christian. So.
All right. So what we'll do is we will have a UA, Rebecca, and that UA is to be done upon release from custody.
Yeah, if we could just say everything upon release of custody instead of.
Okay. All right, so if she is positive or if she doesn't show up for the UA upon release from custody, then it's to be outpatient treatment. If negative, then we'll do random UAs. There's to be random field visits, 1 time per month. There's to be regular Zoom reporting or in person.
Yes.
Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry, did you say, oh, no, yeah, you got it. Never mind.
Okay. Ms. Garza, is there anything else that you need from the court in order to be successful?
Other than that, you're giving me this opportunity to be able to do the right thing, and I apologize for being in the road the other day. I really do. And my intentions was not to insult you in any way at all. I was just sick. I'm sorry.
All right.
Let you know.
Oh, thank you very much. It was a beautiful robe, though, just not appropriate for, court.
And Judge, I asked and she would not let me borrow it for today's hearing.
Oh, well, now I can't forgive her for that because we wanted to see that. All right, Ms. Garza, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. So Ms. Garza, here's the thing. Your uncle has trusted you.
Yes, he has.
With his business.
Yes.
So you need to live up to that trust and you need to stay out of trouble, all right?
Yes, I intend to do that. Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bill Davidson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I have 2 clients. One of them is this new case, Robert Andrade.
All right, let's start with Mr. Andrade first.
Okay. He tells me that he has some new cases coming in and he wants very much to get on a bond on these cases. Apparently, according to him, he had your permission to get 2 jobs, but then when he went to GPS, they said, no.
Wait a minute, just give me 1 second, Mr. Davidson. To the clerks, could I have the files on Andrade, please? It's Robert Andrade. 2020 CR 1052. Mr. Andrade, your case has been reset for January 11th. And just one moment, I'm going to see what the issue is because I believe the issue was not the fact that you went to a job. I think Well, before I speak out of turn, let me just get the file and I'll be able to tell you what's in the file. All right, thank you.
Judge, he picked up new cases, so I think probably that is the reason.
So that's the reason. You were remanded without, Mr. Andrade, you can unmute. All you have to do is press the key. That's the longest key on the keyboard. All right, Norma, can you have somebody at the jail help Mr. Andrade?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. He was remanded without bond, Mr. Davidson, on October 7th. He did not appear for court, and he did not appear for court as of 9:41 a.m. Yes, Mr. Andrade, you wanted to say
can you hear me?
something?
Yes. I want to see Mr. Davidson. Is it okay if I speak? I cannot hear
Mr.
him
Davidson,
either.
you're on mute.
I'm sorry. Yes, the judge is asking you a question.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Mr. Andrade, here's the thing.
Yes,
Before
ma'am.
you say anything, the reason why you were remanded without bond is you didn't show up for court. And I
Yes.
give everyone, and you were also listed as a fugitive, and you were listed as a fugitive because of your new cases.
Yes, ma'am. When we first went to court, you said, Mr. Andrade, if you need to get another job and to pay for your fines and whatever, you get yourself another job.
No. Here's the thing. Your remand without bond had nothing to do with you having another job. It had
Yes.
to do with you not showing for court.
But this is why I'm getting into. So I got me a second job, and I told the priest tourist guy, Thelma, said I'm going to get 2 jobs, and he said, no, you need to get a paper from the judge. I said, well, we just went to court, and she said I could get 2 jobs. So when I talked to Raheem, and I told him that he needed to get the paperwork from you, he said, can I say this, Mr. Williams, or okay? He said, I don't need you to call.
Wait, no. Time out. Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
This is one of the rules I have in my court. Nobody speaks ill of anyone unless that person is here to address.
Okay,
that.
so I want to.
So what I'm telling you is this, Mr. Andrade.
Yes, ma'am.
Your remand without bond has nothing to do with you getting jobs. Your remand without bond has to do with you not showing for court and you picking up new cases. So you currently have charges of stalking. All right, here's the thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but I just do know from the nature of the offense of stalking, you have to rearrange your schedule around the schedule of whomever you're stalking. And I'm not saying you're stalking anybody because I don't have any evidence. But then after that, then we have new charges, alleged new charges that you picked up, the telephone harassment and some other new case. All right, so that's why, yes, Ms. Wilkes?
I was going to say retaliation and violation of protective order.
So now you've picked up a violation of a protective order and retaliation, and you already have the charge of stalking.
Okay.
So that's why you're remanded without bond. Now, here's the thing. I'm not here to address the facts of those other cases. I don't know if they're true or not. I don't know that if the stalking is true or not, or if you're guilty of it or not guilty of it, because the only thing that I have before me is what you're charged with.
Okay, ma'am.
So you're remanded without bond for now. And if your attorney wants to file anything, your attorney can file that motion, and the court is always open to hear motions. But for now, you're remanded without bond.
Okay, and can I say something? No?
Yes.
Okay, well, the victim that said that I was.
No. Here's the thing. We're not at this time going to hear what the complainant or the victim said. So, Mr. Andrade, it appears, Mr.
She's the one that took me out.
Mr. Andrade, it
Yes, ma'am.
appears to me that you want me to make a determination on whether or not I will give you a bond. What I'm telling you is right now, I'm not going to make that determination.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
attorney will file a motion. Your attorney will have it set, and then we will hear it.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
No problem. Sometimes people don't understand the process. I know you want things done now, but
No, ma'am,
there's
I
a
don't- I
legal
just-
process.
Yes, ma'am.
So when the defense attorney files his motion, he needs to give the state notice that he's filed the motion, and the state may be able to proceed upon it right away. But the motion needs to be filed, okay?
I'm sorry. Yes, yes, ma'am.
No, there's no need to apologize. But did the
I-
tattoo hurt that you have?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it
Did
did.
you ever think that to stop, or you just like, I've already started, I'm gonna finish it?
Tell you the truth, I really wanted to take it off.
Well, I mean, I think, well, of course, maybe you can take it off, or maybe too late. We don't know. All right, so we're gonna see you back on January 11th. If your attorney files a motion and wants a motion heard before then, of course, we'll hear it. All right, Mr. Andrade?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Number 14I, Mr. Andrade can go back. All right, next, Mr. Davidson, your other case?
Yes, I have the Juan Montemayor, and I spoke
Yes.
with Caitlin, and she said that there's some discovery I need to come into the DA's office to look at some child safe stuff, and then once I've looked at this discovery, we can start talking about possible, what we might do to work the case out.
Okay. All right, Norma, on Montemayor, can I have a 30-day reset, please? And is your client on bond or in custody?
I think he called me last night, so I thought he was on bond, but then I got a note saying he was in custody, so I'm not sure.
Okay, I think he's in custody. Have you had a chance to speak with him?
Judge, he's
Your
not
Honor,
on bond. He made bond, Judge.
Your Honor, he's in the courtroom.
Okay.
All right, do you need to speak with him, Mr. Davidson?
That would probably be a good idea.
All right, courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 2, please. Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to the clerks, I'm missing one of the files on Montemayor. I'm missing cause number 2021 CR 10505, please.
I'll look for it right now, Judge.
Thank you. Oh, Robert, it's showing up as dismissed. Thank you. All right, anyone else ready? Yes.
We're ready, Your Honor, for Jose Romo.
All right, what is happening on Romo?
We have an agreement with the state.
All right, do you have all the paperwork done?
I don't know if there's any paperwork needed. I think they were going to continue him.
Oh, no, he'll have to do the consent to appear by video.
Okay. Is that gonna, I guess I can request that from the clerk to email that to me?
No, you will give that to Ms. Ferguson.
Okay, thank you.
I know you're tied up, Judge, but whenever you're not.
Yes. So on on your client, Mr. Montemayor,
Yes.
we will be back on January 5th.
Okay, he wants to have the monitors taken off because he said that he has doctor's appointments and stuff to do, and he can't do it with this monitor on.
What doctor's appointments?
Well, he didn't go into the specifics.
What doctor's appointments are interfering with the monitor, Mr. Juan Montemayor?
I'm gonna have to go for some tests because I'm gonna get an operation, some stents on my neck. And I'm gonna have to go like to test, and all that.
You need to provide proof of that, and I need some letter from a doctor saying that that's the case, Mr. Montemayor.
Okay,
Because of the nature of your charges, you're charged with indecency with the child contact, and you'll need to be on GPS. You understand?
yes, ma'am.
So once the court is provided with that documentation, Mr. Davidson, then the court will reconsider.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So your next court date, Mr. Montemayor, is January 5th.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Just remain in the courtroom. They'll give you a reset form.
May I be excused?
Yes. Thank you so much for helping with the other case as well, Mr. Davidson.
Thank you, Judge.
Norma, do you know if Angela Blake has returned?
No, ma'am.
All right. And as soon as everyone has their paperwork and they're ready to go, the court will take it up. All right, the court is just now receiving the plea packet on Lorraine Rodriguez. And the plea packet on Joseph Cuellar. Sorry, Joshua Cuellar.
Judge, the only item that I'm waiting on, Mr. Cuellar, is the application for deferred and appeal rights, and Norma's working on that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Ignacio Barreto.
Yes, Your Honor. I was talking, Caitlin Wilkes and I were talking, and we let Caitlin describe to you what's going on.
Okay.
There's one of the witnesses in the case may or may not have picked up an offense that is out of county, and so I'm going to have to run that, have my investigator run that individual to see if that's true or not.
Okay, and where is your client? Mr.
Custody.
Barreto?
Oh, he's in jail?
3, sorry.
Okay, let me see if I can find him. He never leaves that room. Mr. Barreto, if you can have him come back from breakout room number 3, please.
He's assigned to 5. Let me assign you to 3, Ignacio, and then you can.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. All right, you're assigned to 3. So if you'll go in there and let him know.
Okay.
All right, Norma, on Guerrero Faustino, if I could have a 30-day reset, please.
Your Honor, Mr.
All right, Mr. Guerra, we're going to bring you back on January 13th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. If you have nothing else with this, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Norma, 14L can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, who are the parties on Rodriguez? Lorraine
McDonald.
Rodriguez.
For the defendant, Judge.
And me, Judge.
Court is calling 2021 CR 10311, State of Texas versus Lorraine Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Britney Sparks.
for the defense?
Christine McDonald.
All right, and are you Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objections, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No objection, Judge.
Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're proceeding on both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Rodriguez, do you understand well, let me show you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you?
Yes,
understand
sir.
it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with? And count one is fraudulent use of possession of identifying information, 5 items. And in count 2, you're charged with fraudulent use of identifying information, 5 items or less. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Each of those charges are state jail felonies. The range of punishment in each of those in each of those counts is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement? If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Stating defense was his your intentions that count 1 and count 2 were to run concurrently.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the state, including, I'm sorry, to the court, including in the plea bargain agreement that count 1 and count 2 will run concurrent?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection, state?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you Ms. Rodriguez was entitled plea bargain agreement. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility, $1,000 fine probated, no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with count 1 and count 2. Taking into consideration 2021 CR 10310, night bag number 630369, restitution to Kelsey, Kelsi Heath, no contact with Kelsey Heath, Amber Larson, Larison, and John Hamidas. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your
Next,
Honor,
I'm showing you the yes.
I'm sorry, Judge. There's just one issue I'd like to address regarding the restitution whenever you allow me that chance, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours community service restitution, and CATS 1 and 2. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead in count 1? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence for the defendant's plea in both counts 1 and 2.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Your Honor, can I approach?
I'm in the middle of a hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty of count 1 and count 2. And the court will find you guilty of count 1 and 2. Just one moment. All right, are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we're just respectfully requesting that the court follow the plea bargain. There is a restitution amount that's to be determined. We're also requesting if you would allow us a hearing on that matter, if for some reason the restitution amount seems, if there's not enough to substantiate it, Judge, we just liked a chance to be heard at that matter. Another thing, Judge, for the TAP evaluation, I just respectfully request that it be done out of custody, if you would consider that.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, why are you stealing other people's identifying information?
Because I wasn't in the right state of mind. I wasn't thinking, I was just thinking about myself instead of thinking about other people.
No, I mean, you were in the right state of mind because you were making choices. And I've read the police reports, you were going through with this till the end. And if that officer would not have investigated, you'd still be using this person's identifying information to make purchases. Because I saw where you were actually holding up this person's identification, pretending you were them. So again, we're back to why you're stealing people's identification.
I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, you have to know because you had to take certain action to do it. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
My son just turned 13 and my daughter will be 10 in February.
And where are they?
They're with their dads.
Is Child Protective Services involved?
No, ma'am, I've never had child protective services.
Have you ever been employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what?
I worked at Pizza Hut, gas station, at 7-Eleven, and I also worked on base at the commissary.
I didn't understand that last part.
I worked on base at the commissary on Randolph Air Force Base.
Is this your first case that you've had?
No, ma'am.
So why are they letting her work on base if she has criminal cases? This is something I'm just throwing out there. How far did you go in school?
To the 9th grade. I enrolled in Penn Foster for my high school diploma.
And has that been completed?
No, I'm still currently, well, I was in the process of going online.
Well, people need to stop being in the process and start doing. What's your drug of choice?
Marijuana and crystal meth.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years, $1,000 fine, probated. Counts 1 and 2 will run concurrent. Take in consideration 2021 CR 10310, NIMAC number 630362. Restitution, if any, to Kelsey Heath, no contact with Kelsey Heath, Amber Larson, John Jimenez, 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you obtain the COVID vaccination. That includes the booster. The court is not requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, then 40 hours will be waived. No buyout of community services hours will be allowed. You'd obtain your GED or some kind of trade school or higher level education, parenting classes, CATS 1 and CATS 2. My understanding, that's to teach you not to steal. Here's my class on that. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. People don't like it. If somebody invites you to their house and they tell you to leave, you need to go. If nobody has invited you into their home or their business, then you shouldn't go. That's your class, but they want you to take another one. TAP evaluation while in custody. I want a felony drug court evaluation while in custody. There should be regular Zoom reporting. Follow TAP recommendations. UA hotline upon release. Field visits 2 times per month, random. And Rebecca, make sure it's in the note that when they're doing those field visits, they need to check and make sure there's no identification and wherever she's living that belongs to someone else. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There should be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, Judge.
Ms. Rodriguez, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You can't be taking what doesn't belong to you. You know it doesn't belong to you. And all of this nonsense about I wasn't in the right frame of mind. Nope, you were. You were not in the right frame of mind to get caught. Your children expect more from you. And I'm sure your children thought that they would have their mother with them on a regular basis, but they don't, because you're doing your own thing. You're stealing from other people. And now you're at the Bexar County Jail. So if you want to spend the rest of your life in and out of jail, in and out of prisons, you will continue on this same path. If you want to be a mother to your children, then you need to be the type of mother that they deserve. With that, I'm going to send you to a breakout room, and probation will go over conditions with you. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. And Ms. McDonald, you can go to number 2, or either you can be excused.
Judge, I sent you a chat.
Thank you. Mr. Cuellar, you need to go to breakout room number 1. Who are the parties on Cuellar?
I am Judge Bridget Garza.
Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Garza, I'm going to need you to do me a favor. Write down what I give him as conditions because probation is actually in breakout room number 2. So I'm going to need you to go in number 2 afterwards. Now, mind you, there's been only one person who has given the probation officer exactly what I've said, and that was Nathaniel Navy. So I know you will do me proud.
Okay, Judge.
Court is calling 2021 CR 10727, State of Texas versus Joshua Cuellar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre.
For the defense?
Bridget Garza.
And are you Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
Yes. No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Cuellar, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cuellar, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We are proceeding on the lesser included charge of possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Cuellar, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Did you understand your charge with the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cuellar, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am. I'm satisfied.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. State will take in consideration 2021 CR 10651, County Court Cause number 665230, Grand Jury number 762569, and there should be $114 to the Bear County Lab for testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
Yes, no, there's not, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years,
Yes, ma'am.
that there be a TAP evaluation and 80 hours of community service restitution and proof of employment. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as well, to the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
No contest, Your Honor. Mr. Cuellar.
No contest.
All right. State any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea.
Yes, Judge, and just one more thing on the judicial confessions and admissions portion. I did not put less than 1 gram. It still has 1 to 4. If the owner doesn't mind making that change, defense counsel pointed that out. I just want to make sure that is correct. And then
All right. Any objections to the court changing that?
No objections, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure, no problem. Just give me a moment. All right, anywhere else that needs to be changed?
No, Your Honor. Not to my knowledge.
No, Judge. And at this point, we'll offer State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objection?
No objections.
Mr. Cuellar, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Just one moment, we've lost his attorney. It wouldn't be a Tuesday if that didn't happen, Brenna. Ah.
Hello?
Hi.
Judge, I don't know, my internet went down, so I'm on my phone now. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I said it wouldn't be a Tuesday if that didn't happen. All right, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as he's applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we are asking the court to follow the recommendations of the ADA. And I would also like to point out that Mr. Cuellar has secured employment. He has worked consistently with his cousin with a towing company. It's called Towed Up Towing. And so he will have full-time employment with his cousin upon release of jail.
All right, Mr. Cuellar, who is Sylvia Marie May?
Sylvia Marie May, she was a friend.
All right, and who is Jolene Silva?
She was also a friend.
All right, do you have any children?
I have one daughter, but I don't know where she's at because I was locked up at that time. But you know,
How old is your daughter?
I want to say she's maybe like around 12, 13 years old now. She's, you know, in her teens probably.
Have you had any contact with her at all?
No, ma'am. She's in the, I know my baby mama, she's in the army, but
You mean the mother of your child?
yeah, yes, ma'am, the mother of my child. So she was they stationed her somewhere else and I lost contact with them and I don't know where they could be at now, but
How far did you go in school?
I was a sophomore.
So ninth grade?
Yeah. I went
There we
to
go with the ninth grade.
no, sophomore, I was in 11th grade. I went to Churchill High School.
Wait a minute, 11th grade would be a junior then.
Yeah, I was wrong. It's a junior.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Churchill High School.
So why didn't you complete school?
I just, I was just in a bad spot at the time and I wouldn't mind getting my GED, I could still go back and finish it all, but now I just work a lot. That's all I do.
Any gang membership?
No, ma'am.
What's with all the tattoos?
It's just, I don't know, just the way to express myself, I guess. You could put it that way.
So what's underneath your eye?
Underneath my eye, it's just because I love Texas. It's just a Texas. Yes, ma'am.
A lot of people love different states, but they don't put the symbol of that state.
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean, are you really, I don't have a problem with Texas. I live in Texas. But is there so much love for Texas that you tattoo it on your body?
Yes, ma'am, it is. I was born and
Why
raised
not
here.
tattoo all of the United States on your body?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
So I'm gonna ask for a gang evaluation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's
You knew
fine.
that was coming, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So what are they gonna tell me? Just tell me before I do it.
I'm inactive, you know what I mean? Inactive, so.
So when you were active, what were you?
I was with homeboys.
Well, now,
With
and
all
what group were your homeboys in? I'm sure it was not the Eagle Scouts.
No, the other ones,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And that was a time in my life where I'm not so proud of, now I'm just trying to find my daughter and trying to do what I gotta do to stay
Well,
out
here's
the way.
the thing. Don't go finding your daughter until you get your
Yeah,
yourself together.
till I get right. That's my thing right now. So
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Are you ready, Bridget?
I am, Judge.
Okay. $1,500 fine, probated. 4 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration 2021 CR 10651, County Court Cause Number 665230, Grand Jury Number 762569, 80 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if he provides proof that he's obtained the COVID vaccination. I'm not forcing you to do that, Mr. Cuellar, but if you do it, 40 hours will be deducted, and that includes the booster shot.
all right.
The court will not allow a buyout of the remaining hours. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. $114 restitution to Bexar County Laboratory for testing. Gang evaluation. parenting classes, no contact with Sylvia Marie May or Jolene Silva, random field visits 2 times per month, UA hotline, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And if I didn't say it, because I can't remember if I said it or not, a gang evaluation, supervision, gang supervision evaluation. All right, Mr. Cuellar, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am, I just want to say I appreciate the opportunity, trying to get back on track.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Garza, make sure that Rebecca knows that it's possession less than a gram.
Okay.
And Mr. Cuellar, here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
People say they love their relatives, they want to be with their relatives, that they love their daughter. You probably should not be in your daughter's life until you get your life in order,
Yes,
because you don't want any of your drama visited
Yeah.
on her doorstep.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So
I
if you
understand.
truly love her, and if you truly love the mother of your child, who you say is in the military, it sounds to me like she's doing things.
Yeah.
Don't visit your nonsense on their
Yeah, I
doorstep.
wouldn't want to bring that around them, until I'm right.
So maybe you may need to call it a day on that.
Yeah. Yeah, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 2. Please be patient,
All right.
because they're in there with someone else.
All right, appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Cuellar, you need to go to the other breakout room,
Okay, let me go to,
number 2.
does it say, all right.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 11433W, State of Texas versus Jose Ramo. If I could have a family violence prosecutor, please.
I'm here, Judge.
I'm here too. Caitlin, I got it.
Okay.
All right, if I could have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michelle Hayden for the state.
for the defense.
Ricardo Briones for Jose Romo.
And are you Mr. Ramo?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramo, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Ramo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt. Did you review that document with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jose Ramo who was placed on deferred adjudication in cause number 2019 CR 11433W for the offense of failure to comply with sex offender duty to register life annual on November 21st, 2019 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Your Honor, we have an agreement. It's pretty much the same for both of these cases.
All right. When you say both of the cases, are there 2 cases?
Yes, there's 2019 CR 11433W, and then let me pull up the other case number.
All right.
2016 CR 5254.
Okay, they didn't give me but one. And I only have the consent to appear on one, but okay. All right, and the court is also going to call 2016 CR 5254. Again, any objections to this taking place by video, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Romo, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Romo, I'm going to show you what's entitled in that cause number, motion to enter adjudication of guilt. Did you review that cause number with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you the same Jose Romo who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2016 CR 5254 for the offense of sexual assault on January 30, 2017 for a period of 5 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Your Honor, we've got an agreement in both of these. Do you want me to, the allegations in both of them are pretty much the same?
Yes.
Okay. Violated
Read
condition.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 5th day of October 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Jose Romo did then and there test positive for cocaine in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that in each of the cause number, true or not true?
I'm sorry, true.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 13th day of October 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Jose Romo did then and there admit to using cocaine in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
And violated condition number 14B, on or about the 13th day of October 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Jose Romo failed to comply with the instructions of Watkins and Reed, his court-ordered sex offender treatment program, and that the defendant failed to progress towards reasonable treatment goals by using illegal drugs in violation of condition number 14B.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violations 2 to 14B and each of these cause numbers that in 2019 CR 11433W, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison? And in cause number 2016 CR 5254, the court could find the violations true and sentence you up to 20 years in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to those violations in each of these motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the motions, then the court will find 2, 2, and 14B true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
We're asking that you deny the state's motion to enter an adjudication of guilt and that you alter and amend the community supervision conditions as followed. Defendant will wear the drug patch. He will submit to the UA hotline that he has to call every day. He will be placed on zero tolerance community supervision. He will reestablish the sex offender treatment. He will attend substance abuse counseling with a private contractor. He'll have remote.com placed on all his electronic devices, and the 2016 case will be extended for 1 year.
All right, this substance abuse counseling with a private contractor, is this something that his insurance is paying for?
That's my understanding, Your Honor. It was what the probation department had recommended.
Mr. Ramo, do you have private insurance?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Okay, so how's he going to do that? Because I'm assuming when they say substance abuse treatment through private contract, that means that he's to pay for it. Mr. Briones?
Your Honor, my client was gainfully employed before this arrest. He is currently looking for a job. He does have an ankle monitor, full house arrest, so that's kind of inhibiting that. So we're just asking.
So he has no insurance? That's what I'm trying to establish here.
He has no insurance, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Briones, you need to write this down because probation is in a breakout room. You need to let probation know that in each of the cause numbers, he pled true to violations 2, 2, and 14B, and the court found it true. And each of the motions, the court will deny, alternate amend to include the drug patch, daily UA hotline, re-engage and treatment with Watkins and Reed. He is to place remote.com on all devices. And he's to be placed in intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And this was before my time, so make sure that they know that he's to provide proof of employment within 30 days. And there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And if he has community service hours, then 40 of those will be deducted if he obtains the COVID vaccination. I'm not forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 hours will be deducted. And if you can go to the breakout room and let Ms. Ferguson know that that is what the court has decided. We can go off the record, Mr. Ramo.
Yes.
Here's the thing. You can end up going to prison for 10 years. You can end up going to prison for 20 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you had better start straightening up and doing what you're supposed to be doing. Otherwise, there's a potential that you may find yourself in prison.
Yes, Your Honor. I do have one question though.
Yes.
So I just spoke to the doc, Mr. Watkins. He's actually retiring next week. So I would have to be with the new treatment provider.
No, it's called Watkins and Reed. So is Reed leaving as well?
I believe so. I can double check, but I believe they're both.
We'll find out.
Judge, are you including the extension and zero tolerance, or are those terms being left
Oh,
out?
I'm sorry. Which one needed the extension on?
That was 2016. He's about $4,000 behind in fees, which is why probation was asking.
2016, which 2016?
2016. Sorry, let me pull it up again. CR 5254.
All right, Brenda, just back on the record briefly. So we're going to extend that to 1 year. And Mr. Briones, if you can let them know that he's extended to 1 year in that case.
Yes, Your Honor. And my client is currently under house arrest with an ankle monitor. We're asking for that to be removed.
All right, if you file a motion for that, the court will consider it.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, if you guys will go to breakout room number 2, probation will go over conditions.
And Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. He still didn't sign one more of the consent. He needs one more form to sign.
Okay. All right, if you guys will go to number 2. And where is Angela Blake? Angela Blake.
Hey, Judge.
Hi. Have you had any contact with your client?
I keep texting him and I haven't heard back from him, unfortunately. And he didn't show up to the court, I'm guessing.
No, he did not. All right, Brennan, can we go on the record? Is there a prosecutor available, please?
I am, Judge.
Thank you. Court is calling 2021 CR 7967 and 2021 CR 7966, State of Texas versus Julian Enriquez. Can I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Meredith McIntyre.
For the defense?
Angela Blake.
All right, we're proceeding by Zoom because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 12:37 p.m. Deputy Laura, has there been a Julian Enriquez in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
And he has not appeared on the Zoom screen as well. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Not today, Judge.
State?
Your Honor, the state's asking the court revoke his bond and issue a warrant in both cases.
All right, that'll be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond in each case. If you're able to get in touch with your client and your client makes an appearance, then the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge. Will do.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 10190, State of Texas versus Jennifer Portillo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Britney Sparks.
For the defense?
Sorry, Judge Libby Wiederman.
And are you Ms. Portillo?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objections, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Portillo, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Portillo, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We're going to proceed on count 1. We're going to waive count 2, and we are also going to waive the enhancement.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Portillo, there's a lot of noise that's coming from your end. So just pay attention when I press the button to unmute, ask you to unmute yourself so that you can unmute and answer the questions. Showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with? Possession of a controlled substance, 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were given up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Ms. Portillo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to commit this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with who you're being represented?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine probated. The state recommends community supervision. There's no application for deferred adjudication. State will take in consideration 2020 CR 10712. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, it is.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is asking that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, and a referral to felony drug court. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
Take any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Portillo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence these exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Is that me?
Oh, just give me a moment, please.
Sorry.
No problem.
Jennifer, why don't you go ahead and mute while the judge is reviewing the documents?
Okay, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty in count 1, and the court will find you guilty of count 1. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Judge, we certainly can. I wasn't sure what the court's wishes would be as far as whether you would want her to be referred to drug court first to be considered or proceed now, but I'm certainly fine with going forward now.
All right, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I would just ask the court to follow the plea bargain. I've discussed drug court with her, and she does understand that that's not a guarantee, that she does have to be considered by them. And I do think she's going to be a good candidate. She understands the intensity and the obligation that she will be committing to. And I think that she's, already kind of made some positive movements towards that. She does have a job. Obviously she's in custody right now. She's clean, and she is willing and wanting to do all that is involved in drug court.
All right. Ms. Portillo, I just have a few questions for you. Can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What are their ages?
18 and 17, ma'am. They're with my mom at home, and like I was explaining to my lawyer, my older one's going to be graduating this year, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. But my mom's done a really good job in raising the both of them, and I've been a part of their life, since for a few years now. I've been a part of their life since I've been clean. So I'm really looking forward to
Well,
just
I mean,
continue on with them.
Here's the thing. You haven't been in their life if you've been in custody, and you haven't
Yeah.
been clean and sober because you have this case and it's from 2020.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So what's your drug of choice and how often do you use?
My drug of choice now was I was just using meth, but I was like smoking it from here to there, ma'am. It wasn't like a big thing on me. It was just like, I guess, an occasional thing that I would pick up when I was around friends. So that's
No.
how
Let me
I
just
got
tell you
caught up.
something. Let me explain something to you about wrong friends.
Yes, ma'am.
The people you were around, if they were here right now and I would ask them things, you know what they would tell me? They would tell me they were around the wrong people.
Yes, ma'am.
I would say, well, who are the wrong people you're around? And they would say, Jennifer Portillo.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right. Has Child Protective Services been involved in your life?
They have. That's why my mom took over and raising my daughters.
So
She's had them since they were like.
So your mother, who just wants to be a grandmother, has now had to be the mother of your children.
Yes,
So that
ma'am.
means that you do have a major drug problem, because if she's raising your children, that means that you didn't follow through on what you needed to do with CPS.
Well, she's had them since they were 3 and 4. So she's raised them. Yes, ma'am. Their whole
All right,
life.
because you were not doing what you were supposed to do.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, this is what the court, how far did you go in school?
I went to 11th grade, but I'm actually signed up I was explaining to my lawyer, I'm actually signed up right now with Palo Alto. I'm trying to do my GED program with them as well. I for this past couple of years, I've held my job. I'm trying to get into school with the Palo Alto right now, because I'm trying to get in for a veterinary. So it's just I'm trying, ma'am. I'm not saying that I've been complete.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We're all trying, and we all have to try. And each day we get up in the morning, hopefully we're going to do better than we did the day before. That's all anybody can ask.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Wiedemann, I'm going to need you to write this down. Now, mind you, the only person who's been successful at this has been Nathaniel Navy. I don't know how Bridget Garza did or Richard Briones did today in taking this down and giving it to probation. So this is what I'm going to order for her. 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. $1,000 fine, probated. Take in consideration 2020 CR 10712. 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be deducted if she provides proof that she's completed the COVID vaccination. Ms. Portillo, that means the booster as well. I'm not forcing anyone to take the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of your community service hours will be deducted. The court will not allow for buyout of the remaining community service hours. Referral to felony drug court while in custody. Because the day is Tuesday, they may be able to see her this week, but probably at the latest next week. They're pretty quick about seeing. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. If not accepted, into felony drug court or waitlisted for felony drug court, then it's to be intensive outpatient treatment with probation. The UA hotline. No unsupervised contact with minors. And Ms. Wiedemann, that's just if she's going to be babysitting, because until she shows me that she's clean and sober on a regular basis, I can't have her babysitting children. I know they're 17 or 16, but I can't have her babysitting minors. There is going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So Ms. Portillo, if something happens and you can't report by Zoom, then you have to report in person. There will be random field visits 2 times per month. Okay, just give me a moment. And if you obtain your GED or in some sort of higher level education or trade school, the remaining hours of your community service restitution will be deducted. All right, is there anything else that you need from me, Ms. Portillo, in order to be successful?
No, ma'am, just as far as like the drug court goes, like they do help you with all of those programs and stuff like that, right? I mean.
Oh, what's gonna end up happening is someone from felony drug court is going to come see you. It's very important that you're honest with them. So this thing where you were telling me I've been clean and sober, well, the only time you've been clean and sober is when you're at the Bexar County Jail. So you need to be honest with them. If you're not honest with them, then there's gonna be a problem.
Okay, I understand.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Right. And also, Ms. Wiedemann, will you let the probation officer know that she only pled to count 1?
Yes.
All right, we can go at the record. Ms. Portillo, you still have a chance to be in your children's life as mom.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
whether or not you do that depends on you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So do not go to your mother's doorstep visiting problems on her when she's working with your children, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And if you end up living with your mother, know that she's the person who's been raising your children. So she is the person who sets down rules. Don't try to come in and change the rules, all right?
No, ma'am, never.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 2 and probation is in there and she'll go over conditions with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, did you want me to go in there with her and then tell the CLO what the deal is?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. All right, okay, everyone, that was our last case for today. I know we went to close to 1 p.m., but I figured we'll go to 1 and we won't have to come back for Zoom this afternoon. Hopefully, things have been known to happen. And Brenna, we're gonna have to get a heater for you.
Yes, I'm dying over here.
Yeah. So you know what's going on. During the summertime, they have it super hot in here, like 90 degrees. So now I think they're trying to show us something, saying they're gonna freeze us out. So you know, because they're trying to do that, we're just gonna have to own these freezing temperatures. So we're not gonna report it at all. So that's what we're gonna do. But great seeing you guys today. We'll be back on Wednesday at 9. Take your booster shot. I'm over all of the side effects.